Till Death was directed by S.K. Dale and stars Megan Fox as a woman named Emma, who is in a relationship for 11 years and happily married, at least that's what people think, to a man named Mark. On their 11th anniversary, they decide to go to their lake house to spend the weekend together to try and spice up their marriage once again, but then suddenly, she is handcuffed to his body. And that's all I'm really gonna say about it, because I didn't really know much about the movie going in, and I don't really want to say anything else just in case you do plan on seeing it and want to go in the most spoiler-free way possible. This has been a great time for Megan Fox. It's been great seeing this sort of resurgence in her career, because I still remember there was a point in time she was the biggest name in the biz, and then you had films like Jennifer's Body and then the Transformers movies coming out, and then things went south, and after that I barely saw her in anything, and seeing her come back up has been very interesting and awesome, really. And she's really, really good in this movie. I would say this is one of her best, and she really crushes it in the role. She has to do a lot in a very claustrophobic environment, despite the fact that she can maneuver in places but just drag a body around. And she also has to confront a lot of things that have led to this moment. Again, like I said, no spoilers, but when the relationship was strained in their marriage, I really mean that, and no, mild sense of the word, things were going on. And so those things come up a lot because, a romantic get together with handcuffs, if the guy shoots himself, you're gonna see some other fucked up shit that's gonna, factor into this particular getaway. And it absolutely does. And the film definitely understands that tense aspect of it, and it's directed really, really well, and with some amazing cinematography as well, and a very thrilling score. The film doesn't exactly reinvent this, concept. It doesn't exactly, it's not going to be a game changer that you talk about for years to come in the horror thriller genre, but at the same time, the film is very entertaining in its own regard, and I had a blast watching it. It has a very simple premise and a very simple through line, and it achieves that in the best way possible. Once trouble does come knocking for Emma, things escalate, and the film knows how to handle those particular situations really, really well, so that as things get worse and worse, how does she get out of situations, what she can use, because she's pretty limited even in the stuff that is around this place. There's not much that she can sort of use to get out of the handcuffs or even sort of get away from this place. Like, it's a no exit sort of scenario. And the film utilizes this perfectly. It sort of maps out the entire location wonderfully. This is also really important because eventually she's going to use these places when she wants to get away from something. And the film acknowledges that. And so it gives you a proper setup of the entire thing, which I think was really great. One thing I think the film could have been better with, though, was its first act. Because this sappy love story, things going awfully wrong thing, it feels so tonally different and so differently written from everything else that happens in the movie that it doesn't really feel like it's the same movie. Now, granted, this is obviously to subvert expectations, so when things eventually start going wrong, you can see that and go, oh my god, I did not see that coming. At the same time, the pacing of it could have been a lot better because it just feels like it's slogging for the first 25 minutes or so. And then eventually when it kicks in, the rest of the factors, the film gets so much better. I wish it was a little more consistent in that way. Yeah, there are some things that are still, left vague and hanging up in the air, but like I said before, it has a very simple through line from point A to point B. This is the story it wants to tell. And it tells that story in the best way possible. There are a couple of unexplained things, for sure. There's one thing in particular that is a major factor in what's about to, go down and why it's happening. And I wish there was another explanation as to what led to that. I mean, I probably am asking for more, but the movie doesn't really require it. It gives you a very simple reasoning for what's going down. But there's something leading up to it that they constantly refer back to. And I thought, but why? Like, why did this happen in the first place? But all that being said, I really enjoyed Till Death. I think overall it was a very, very solid movie, and one that I can definitely recommend seeing multiple times. It's a very fun, claustrophobic thriller, and it definitely commits to the bit wonderfully. Like I said, that first act could have been improved a bit, and there are a few things that I feel like could have been maybe handled and explained a little bit in more detail, but it's pretty minor, most of that stuff. Overall, I still had a good time. I'm gonna give Till Death an 8 out of 10. Guys, thank you very much for watching. Look forward to more reviews very soon. As always, if you like this, please do subscribe, and I'll see you guys at the movies.